आपने गाना सुना होगा दोस्तों बचपन में. यू मस्ट हैव गॉन थ्रू दिस सॉन्ग. लड़की क्यों न जाने क्यों लड़कों सी नहीं होती. खैर माफी चाहूंगा मेरी आवाज के लिए. माई वॉइस इज डेंजरस. But did you ever notice this thing that when you were singing a song, dedicating it to your beloved friend, sisters, family members, that girls are girls and boys are boys, girls boys नहीं बन सकते, लड़की है क्या लड़की की तरह रोता है यार, अरे ये तो छोरी है, right? दंगल वाला song. Did you know that you're actually making mistakes, which is actually a hostile thing in feminism? Hello friends, this is Vineet Pandey and we are going to talk about what is feminism. My dear friends, when Adam and Eve were sent to earth, it is said that the birth of Eve was taken from the ribs of Adam himself. So technically the identity of woman, the birth of woman has also been given a patriarchal understanding that your birth is also because of man. Now, we talk about feminism. What is feminism? Basically, in the basic definition of feminism, feminism is women fighting for their rights, questioning their rights, talking about their rights, demanding their rights, equality. Now, I must tell you, it's a basic definition of feminism. Feminism has a much more better definition. But it is actually for all my students who are watching this video and trying to understand feminism for the first time. Before I go for important terminology of feminism, I want to ask some questions. We have multiple religion. We have Hinduism, Islam, Sikhism, Jainism, Buddhism, Christianity, and maybe some more religions. How many of these religions have religious books written by a woman? इन धर्मों में कितनी किताबें ऐसी हैं जो किसी औरत ने लिखी हैं और हम उसे धर्म ग्रंथ मानते हैं and we follow? Rarely. Maybe. If you know that, write down in the comments. Second question. In all these different religions and in all these different cultures, why a woman has to leave her house and shift with in-laws or shift with husband? Why husband is not shifting? So it is said that this is dislocation of identity, dislocation of culture in post-colonial sense. Why? There are words which actually define that the word husband is also the word Malik, master. How? We call Swami. Swami is Malik. We call Pati, Dhanpati, Lakhpati, Krodpati, Rashtrapati. Do you know the word Rashtrapati and Rashtrapati is one of my favorite examples of the classroom. When I teach feminism, I talk about these things. This is the example of phallogocentrism, and recently there was some actual issue. Yes, there was some actual issue using the word Rashtrapatni for some female president of India. Well, that's not my concern. My concern is that feminism deals with equality, identity of women, a culture of their own, identity of their own, and yes, their own existence. Now let's go for these terms one by one. So the term in front of you is feminism, and it deals with the belief, desire of equality in sexes. This is a simple faith that women must get the same opportunity, same economic, political equality and respect as the man is getting. The second term is patriarchy. Patriarchy, we all know, it is totally male-centered, rules, regulations, culture, religion, politics, everything dominated by male. Then comes sexism. Sexism is simple. It is the idea that women are inferior, women are weak, women often cry, and women cannot be given the leadership. You must have either done this thing in your life or you must have felt it. We come from a nation which is basically a patriarchal nation. The next term we have is hostile sexism. You must have seen some people abusing women for being women. त्रिया चरित्र, अरे औरत पे भरोसा मत करना,
औरत का चक्कर बाबू भैया, औरत का चक्कर.
This is called hostile sexism. Openly insulting, objectifying, and degrading women. Hostile sexism is very much common in India. You must have seen this thing in the streets. But now this is more surprising. The next term we have is benevolent sexism. And yes, even some people who say that we are feminists, we respect women, or out of joke, compliment, you still make sure that women is women. See, it is simply the man's feeling of superiority, and sometimes even in the lighter mode. If you're making fun of women, saying something in a very light mode, or telling women that you respect women for being a woman, is called a simple benevolent sexism. Have you seen this advertisement? Woman. That's benevolent sexism. The next terminology is cisgender. Cisgender is one of the latest feminist terms that describes a woman or a man who actually respect their biological standards. Mean, if you are born as a male and also feel like a male, behave like a male, and you actually accept, assimilate your identity like a male, you are cisgender. So if you're born as a woman, you are feminine, you love to be a woman, you feel feminine, and you accept your identity as a woman, you are called cisgender. That's a very important term. The next term we have is women of color. It's a political term to unite women from marginalized communities of color. So technically it deals with the color issues like African, Black, or Native American feminism. And the next term we have is victim blaming. Have you seen in the rape cases, in the molestation cases, or ev-teasing cases, some people, some patriarchal mindset will come to you and say that the girl was not dressed up properly. The girl was wearing a short dress. What was that girl doing in the midnight? This was really unfortunate. When Nirbhaya Kand happened in Delhi, there was some people writing it on Facebook that what was she doing in that bus by 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. So what if a woman is roaming around in the midnight? Is she a target to be raped? This is called victim blaming. So they don't support you, they start blaming the victim. Recently, you must have seen there was some problems related to the Olympians. They were also raising voice, but they got blamed. People started blaming them for political attempts, political stunts, or their own dresses. You must have seen this as girls. You must have felt this as girls, that any sexual assault, any eradicated abuse, or anything, it is the woman who has been called guilty. They say it's you, it's your dress, it's your inappropriate behavior or moving in the night that attracted the crime. That's called victim blaming. Now comes male gaze, the next term. I, in my classes, define it in a very proper way. The same concept by Sigmund Freud has been called scopophilia. Male gaze concept has been developed by Laura Mulvey in The Visual Pleasures of Narrative Cinema. She says, it is a way of looking at the world through masculine lens that views women as a sexual object. Let's make it easy. You must have watched Instagram photos of models. Why the female Instagram models have to go for the exposing their bodies? Why they have to go for short dresses or bikinis? Why heroine in Bollywood are being introduced in their bikinis? Why? Because that actually derives the male gaze. Male gaze is also called scopophilia, which means looking at women's body to derive pleasure. Sometimes it is known, sometimes it's unknown. Even in unknown way, if you're watching or reading a magazine, you don't know that somewhere you are being gratified, your desires are being gratified. Male gaze is a very important question. It's in the recent exams, it has been asked. Now comes the most important term, and yes, latest term. So it is not even mentioned in the books, but you must know, and this term has been called man-tropting. Man-tropting means man interrupting. You must have fought with a man. Verbal arguments, maybe with your brother, maybe with your husband, boyfriend, lover. There is no woman in the life, she has never argued with a man, right? So, did it happen to you that when you were talking to them, they were loud, they were not letting you speak, they were not letting you complete? That's called man interrupting. So even the women's narration, man doesn't allow her to speak. Man interrupting, man interrupting. You must have seen this thing in the courts when the rape survivors, rape victims, they actually try to express those emotions and they say the story, the opponent lawyers, all the people, they intervene in between and they don't let them speak. The famous case, it's very important, and I must tell you this thing, the famous case of 2009 MTV Video Music Awards. Kanye West grabbed the mic from Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift was delivering a speech and he just went to her, took the mic and didn't let her speak, and that was called man interrupting. Famous singer Beyonce has been interrupted, and another famous case is Hillary Clinton. Yes, the presidential candidate, the wife of ex-president of America, Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton were having the presidential debate. Hillary Clinton was stopped 22 times in first 26 minutes. Donald Trump kept on interrupting Hillary Clinton for 22 times in 26 minutes. Can you imagine? So this is how there is a politics that the man is not even letting you speak. Man is not even giving you chances to speak. The next term we have is manspreading, a very latest new term. And remember this thing that you must have heard that in Gulf countries, women are not allowed to drive a car or to drive a scooty. You must have seen even in Indian families, in Indian scenarios, that women, if they are sitting on a bike, they are actually sitting with one side posture, having both legs at one side. In modern cities, in modern cultures, the women riders or the people who are sitting in the bike, they have their cross leg. This is also a term, manspreading. It is said that man has got this advantage of being sexually superior, that he can widen his leg whenever he want and wherever he want. You must have seen this thing in the metros, in the trains, in the classrooms. When boys are sitting, they have widened their legs. But if a woman does the same thing, widening the legs, अगर एक महिला अपने दोनों पैरों को फैला के बैठ रही है, which has been considered immoral, crime, sexually explicit. Why? So when men take up excess space by sitting with their legs far apart, this act was actually, it actually became an act in New York's Metropolitan Transportation. You know why? New York's Metropolitan Transportation Authority, they launched a campaign and told the boys, told the men, the guys to not to open up their legs and provide proper room for women. This is actually a term. You must be confused that this is also a term. Yes, this is also a term. The next term we have is intersectional feminism. The last time there was a question in competitive exams. It deals with women's rights, equality between the sexes, but it also focuses ethnicity, race, religion, sexual orientation, and all types of discrimination based on these things. So guys, this was my presentation. Feminism is one of the most important need of time. Also, one of the most interesting, curiosity-causing topic. It's one of my favorite topic. I take examples from movies to life. And to understand feminism, you don't have to read the books. All you have to say is be observant and you'll find out all the terms and rules and regulations related to feminism. You must have seen a movie when there was a girl having her ponytail like this, making an arc, and she used to sing, Bhala hai, bura hai, jaisa bhi hai, mera pati mera devta hai. So, I have a request from all of you. If you like the content, subscribe the channel, like the video and share it with all women or societies where you have these kind of issues. Let every woman know about these things. And yes, if you have also faced this kind of discrimination, don't forget to write that in comment. I would love to read your comments. Thank you so much.